Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
In the wake of a frightening bridge collapse in Pennsylvania, the Local 4 defenders reveal several local bridges that were supposed to be replaced months ago. Good to have you with us tonight at 6. Questions of could it happen here raised by the collapse of a bridge in Pittsburgh this morning.
Take a look here. Amazingly, no one was killed when the Fern Hollow Bridge gave way while 6 vehicles, including a bus, were on it. The bus driver and 2 passengers escaped without injury. In all, 10 people were injured and 3 of them were hospitalized. But again, we're told none of the injuries are life-threatening.
Here's a photo of the bridge. This was taken just 3 days before the collapse. Authorities in Pittsburgh say the bridge was last inspected fairly recently, September of last year. But even then, it was determined to be in poor condition. And the same can be said for around 45,000 bridges across the country, including, of course, right here in Metro Detroit.
Local 4 defender Sean Lay has a look at several which need urgent attention right here in Wayne County. Sean.
What happened in Pittsburgh today, local officials are telling us they fear is going to happen right here in our area. We all have to drive over our bridges. Most of us don't get to see under the bridge. That can be eye-opening. That can be scary.
Michigan has the heaviest truck weight limits of any state in the country, and we're 60,000 pounds more than any other state. That's 30 tons.
The state of our bridges keeps Wayne County Commissioner Ray Basham up at night. From the state level to the local level, Basham has been involved in transportation issues for years. None more vital than replacing bridges around Metro Detroit.
God bless us. I hope nothing ever happens. But we're very vulnerable. You know, I got my fingers crossed that I hope nothing ever happens to any of the bridges. But if you look at Pennsylvania and you look at just what happened there, it's like, that's scary.
The Local 4 defenders are giving you an up-close look at the wear and tear on Wayne County bridges and a look from Drone 4. And we can show you this list of Wayne County bridges that were scheduled for a full replacement by fall of 2021, but have not been replaced. One of those bridges is the Warren Road Bridge in Dearborn Heights. Others are in Allen Park, the Goddard Road Bridge, Brownstown Township, Jefferson Avenue Bridge, and Canton Township, the Cherry Hill Bridge. Basham says funding is the main issue why bridges have not yet been replaced. He worries that this is a race against time.
The one that jumps out to me of all the bridges is the Ambassador Bridge. They build them for 100 years, and that's one of the busiest in this country. And one of the heaviest weights on that bridge is all them semis. Drive by any time and take a look at the semis sitting on the bridge.
Also consider this, engineers say, especially here in Michigan, kind of a double whammy here, Devin, that yes, weight limits are the highest in the country here in Michigan for those semi-trucks, but also we have so much snow here. Wayne County and other counties use salt on the bridges. It breaks them down even faster. Back to you.
Yeah, and actually, Sean, I'll take it. And those are county bridges, and I know you're looking into state bridges as well, correct?
And that's the bright spot in all of this, if there is one right now, according to County Commissioner Ray Basham, Kimberly, is that there's a State Bureau of Bridges, he says, doing a very good job now working with the federal government and local governments then to kind of marshal those funds that are badly needed for repairs and replacements.
Yeah, scary situation. Sean, we appreciate it. President Biden has already gotten a look at the damaged bridge in Pittsburgh as he was coincidentally already scheduled to visit Pennsylvania to talk about his new infrastructure law. Ahead on Nightly News, what the president had to say, plus a closer look at how widespread these bridge problems are around the country. That's ahead at 6:30 when we hand things over to Lester Holt and the NBC Nightly News team.
We're also tracking the latest COVID numbers, of course, here in Michigan. Today, the state reporting 26,309 cases over the past 2 days, so the average hovering at that 13,000 case a day mark. Just a little lower than what we saw in the middle of the week, but still a little stubbornly stuck in that area. 173 more people have died from the virus as well. Health officials say Omicron still driving the daily American death toll higher than during last fall's Delta wave, with deaths likely to keep rising for days or perhaps even weeks.
Well, we know they're bracing for a big winter storm out east. So here in Metro Detroit, I guess it's a case of it could be worse. But Paul, we're headed back into the single digits tonight, right?
Yeah, we can't shake this Arctic air. And I tell you, with the wind coming off the lake, that Arctic air is still producing lake effect snow showers here along the Lake Huron shoreline. So we're going to keep an eye on that. But it should be winding down during the night. And it's not a problem for all the rest of us. There have been a few flakes on the far east side, just kind of the extension of this. But really, we've had a lot of snow up there along the shoreline. I had a report of 8 inches in Applegate, and Dave Birch, a former coworker of ours here, Local 4, about 5 miles off the lake, had about 5 inches. So they've gotten a lot of snow from that lake effect band, but we're all in the teens right now, except for Sandusky and Lapeer. You're actually below the teens there, and the wind chills are in the single digits right now. So it is bitterly cold out there, and temperatures are going to just continue to slide through the evening. We'll be down probably even into the single digits by midnight and going down from there. So we'll talk more about that. We'll talk more about the East Coast storm, and we'll talk more about our storm next week in just a few minutes. Oh, don't forget the Local Forecasters app. This is really important to have this weekend because the radar, you can pan and zoom with your finger, and you can go anywhere in the world, really, to look at radar. Watch the storm this weekend as it moves up the coast and pounds them. Just go to the App Store, search under WDIV, and it's free.
All right, Paul. Oakland University has mistakenly alerted some incoming students they're recipients of a huge scholarship. According to the university, over 5,000 students were informed of receiving the award, a scholarship valued at $48,000 for 4 years at the university. The university says the mistaken notifications were sent in early January, but the students who received the message did not meet the eligibility requirements. A follow-up apology email was sent out after the students were initially informed of the award.
2 universities and 2 counties are working together in hopes of saving lives after a college student was found to have bacterial meningitis. That student, who attends U of M, is hospitalized, and there's concern for the people that may have come in contact at events at U of M and MSU. Megan Woods joins us live with the proactive measures taken by both schools and their respective county health departments. Megan, good evening.
Good evening. So that event in Ann Arbor happened on Thursday, January 20th. The one in East Lansing happened Saturday, January 22nd. That event had more than 250 people, and that's what these universities and health departments are concerned about. That's why they've reached out to the people who went to those events to let them know there was an exposure.
This particular infection is rare. There are both bacteria and viruses that can cause this type of infection, meningitis. So we're waiting on additional details for that subtype, but we can't really delay the antibiotic treatment for anyone that might have been exposed.
It's passed by close contact.
So saliva, mucus, that means kissing, touching, sharing a drink, sharing a utensil, sharing a beverage. We'd also have some concern about very close quarters for a long period of time.
But they don't want to chance it. That's why they've reached out to people who attended a Delta Kappa Epsilon residence event at 800 Oxford Road, Ann Arbor on Thursday, January 20th from 10:30 p.m. through 12 a.m. And then in East Lansing, an off-campus event on Saturday, January 22nd, which was hosted by Sigma Beta Rho at Club Rush.
Although it might be difficult to deem what their exact risk is, we are recommending that everyone who was present at that event, either as an MSU student or a community member, receive antibiotics.
Michigan State is holding a medication dispensing event to get those antibiotics to anyone who was at the event, and U of M is having the same thing on their campus.
So this is not an outbreak. There are no more cases that have been identified. We are working with Washtenaw County and with MSU to, make sure that we have all the information we need.
Now, if you attended either event at either university, but maybe you're not a student, they say to go to your healthcare provider, let them know that you were exposed, and they can prescribe you that medication. Those doctors also say that this is a good reminder that there is a vaccine to help avoid this infection. We'll have information on that on clickondetroit.com. I'm Megan Woods, Local 4.
Good. Okay. Megan, thank you.
Well, here we go again. Yet another lawsuit to be filed over the state's new district maps that would draw new lines for voters for the next 10 years. That suit announced at a news conference this morning. Grant Herms listened in on the announcement and joins us now. Grant, the third suit against these maps.
Yes, it is. And this one takes a bit of a different approach, Devin. So this one takes aim at the state house map, the other two at the congressional maps. And while this one may not be as flashy as those congressional maps, it does, as you said, impact our elections for the next 10 years.
We will be filing this lawsuit challenging the state house map on the grounds of partisan fairness.
The announcement of yet another lawsuit against the state's Independent Redistricting Commission, this time filed by prominent voting rights groups like the League of Women Voters, Asian American Pacific Islanders Vote, and Detroit Action. The lawsuit, set to be filed next week, will ask the commission to redraw maps to fix what they see as partisan bias in the newly drawn district maps, concerns they overly favor Republicans, potentially silencing the voices of underserved communities.
Partisan fairness must be our top priority.
If partisan fairness isn't achieved, our communities will continue to face representatives with outsized influence, policies further out of touch with our needs, and elected officials who are out of touch with our communities.
This lawsuit will be the third, claiming there are problems with the state's maps. Last month, Detroit's Black Caucus filed a suit alleging the maps failed to meet federal civil rights standards, something the state's civil rights office agreed with. Then, just last week, 7 Republicans from West Michigan sued, alleging the maps don't have equal population sizes. Each of these suits want these maps redrawn, with time running out before the 2022 midterm elections.
And there are still debates about these maps among election experts. Civil rights advocates say they don't pass federal muster, but voting rights and elections experts say that Michigan should be proud of these maps and consider them success stories for independent commissions. Back to you.
Grant, one of these cases was just heard at the state Supreme Court last week.
Yes, it was. That was the first one from Detroit's Black Caucus. Now, the Supreme Court justices didn't seem like they really wanted to take this case up. They were reluctant to touch a federal Voting Rights Act challenge, which means it could get kicked to a federal court, which would prolong this timeline as that clock ticks down to November. Back to you.
All right, Grant.